Curieusement d'ailleurs, ça sonne dans ma tête. Il y a eu 30 000 personnes disparues, torturées et exécutées en Argentine dans la période 1976-1983. Donc voilà pourquoi le Nouveau Droit de l'Homme a mené le combat aux côtés des Argentins, et pourquoi le Nouveau Droit de l'Homme mène le combat aux côtés des démocrates iraniens.
So these were the most appalling crimes, and to ignore them is wrong. The fact that they happened in 1988, we're looking at the 22nd anniversary now of these appalling offences, doesn't mean that they can be ignored. So, I mean, these things that happened in 1988 are far more recent than that, and there are plenty of people waiting to be allowed to give evidence. And that massive evidence could be collected. It could be presented to the International Criminal Court with a public demand that that the individuals who are still alive should be charged and brought to justice.
Hello, Derek. I think the lesson that the world should learn from this is that the mullahs tried to murder the opposition, and they failed. In 5 months, 30,000 opponents of that regime were hung from the end of cranes, mainly members or supporters of the PMOI, and yet the resistance lives on. It lives on in the deserts of Iraq at Camp Ashraf and Salam Ashraf. It lives on also inside Iran, because the people left their spirits behind, their demands for freedom and a tolerant Islam. And the mullahs couldn't murder that, nor will they. The mullahs have got to be taken before an international tribunal convened by the United Nations to answer for these crimes, because many of the people involved in that dreadful industrial-scale slaughter in 1988 are still at the head of that regime. They must be called to account. They must answer. The world cannot tolerate this anymore. And all the while that they remain there and continue their murderous repression of those who cry freedom, it makes it impossible for us to forget the big crimes, the stains, the blood they have on their fingers and their consciences. And the world will not and should not and must not forget.
There is no doubt, say Amnesty International, that it is a crime against humanity. Now, the only protection I have as an individual against government is international law, which protects me in this way. And therefore, I call upon the United Nations Security Council to protect my rights and ensure that those who are responsible for these atrocities still working in the government in Iran should be brought to book. Because if they are not, then my security, my protection is diminished. So it's important for all of us, and that is why I support Mrs. Rajavi's plea to the United Nations Security Council to ensure that this matter is fully looked into, a proper tribunal is held where these people can account for their crimes in front of an international stage.